Long before humans mapped the ocean, the mermaids obeyed one law. If a human sees your true form under the moonlight and remembers, the abyss will come for you both. It had never been broken. Lira had been sent by the tide court to patrol the surface after the storm. She swam alone through the upper reef, watching for wreckage or injured sea life. Her patrol route ended near the reef boundary. She slowed and looked ahead. Among the scattered debris, one shape moved slower than the rest. It hovered near the surface, not drifting with the others. It didn't turn or sink. It stayed in place.
You will not touch wreckage. You will not be seen. If a human survives and remembers your form, the abyss will take you both.
It's just one piece. I'll look and report.
She saw a boy floating over a broken plank. His arms hung loose. His eyes were shut. She swam to him, placed a hand on his chest, and checked for breath. He was still warm. She pulled him down to the reef shelf. He didn't move. She pressed again. His chest lifted. He took a slow breath.
You were not supposed to survive.
If he sees your form and remembers, the abyss will take you both.
He didn't open his eyes.
Lira turned from the ledge. She had done enough. The boy stayed still. She swam forward. Behind her, his eyes opened. He didn't speak or move. He just watched her. Her silver tail were fully exposed. She stopped mid-swim. She didn't turn back, but she felt it. He had seen her. The sea's condition had been broken.
Are you real?
No, you didn't see me.
I can see you. Who are you?
I saved you. That should have been enough.
She said nothing else. Then she swam fast into the deeper reef and disappeared into the current. Lira swam through the coral gates without speaking. Her body moved on instinct, but her mind stayed fixed on what she had done. The surface storm was behind her now, but the memory wasn't. Before she could descend to the healer chambers, a royal attendant blocked her path.
You are summoned. The Queen Healer wants a full account.
I have not rested.
This is not a request.
Without another word, Lira turned and swam toward the inner court, already knowing what they would ask. Queen Healer floats at the center, but her face was hard. The other court healers watched from the edge, silent. No one interrupted as the Queen spoke. Lira kept her hands locked behind her, waiting for the sentence she already expected.
Did he see your face?
He was unconscious. I pulled him below. He wasn't awake.
That was not the question.
Okay. Yes. He opened his eyes.
Then, you have broken the sea's condition.
It was not meant.
The abyss does not care what was meant. If he remembers you by the 7th tide, it will rise for you both.
There's still time. He was barely breathing. Maybe he won't remember.
You will not gamble with prophecy. You will use a forgetting shell. You will erase the memory yourself.
The Queen turned away before Lira could answer. The final words weren't spoken as a threat. They were spoken as law. The shell was cold when she took it. Its edge glowed faintly. Another healer had handed it over without a word, already turning away. Lira swam alone to the outer edge of the reef, where no one could hear her decision. She turned the shell in her palm, staring at the smooth curve.
He doesn't even know my name. Why does it matter if he remembers? But I remember. I remember how he looked at me. If I do this, it is like it never happened. Like I never saved him.
She held the shell against her chest but didn't use it. Not yet. Not tonight. Elias regained consciousness on the shoreline, confused but breathing. The wreck still burned faintly behind him. He sat up slowly, the image of a silver tail still flashing through his mind. He remembered her face clearly, the one who pulled him down through the storm. He didn't know how he was alive. He didn't know if what he saw was real. but he couldn't shake it. He got to his feet and limped toward the charred remains of the ship, hoping someone else had seen her too.
There was a girl in the water. She had silver skin. I think she saved me.
You were face down in the tide, boy. If someone saved you, it wasn't a woman with a tail.
She was real. I saw her.
The sailors dismissed him, but Elias knew what he saw. That night, while the crew slept, he took a charcoal nub from the wreckage and began to draw her in the sand. Each night, Elias returned to the shore. He sat near the edge of the water and sketched the curve of her tail, the strands of her hair, the exact shape of her eyes. His hands trembled when he remembered how close she was. The villagers called it nonsense, storm madness maybe. But Elias didn't care. He was chasing proof.
I just need to get it right. If I can draw her, maybe she will come back.
You looking for ghosts, boy?
She wasn't a ghost. She was real.
By the third night, he stopped trying to sleep. He waited at the rocks with his sketches in hand, watching the waves for movement, hoping she would appear again. He camped near the edge of the tide, drawing new lines each day, changing the way her gills looked, how the tail moved. It didn't matter if no one believed him. He remembered. He had seen her face under the moonlight, and that memory wasn't fading.
You're out there. I know it. If you saved me once, you'll come back.
He sat still, waiting. The drawings lay beside him, scattered on the rocks. None of them were perfect, but she was still in his mind, as clear as the night she pulled him from the storm. Lira surfaced near the rocky coastline under cover of night. She stayed hidden, clutching the smooth forgetting shell in her palm. Her orders were simple: find the boy, erase what he saw, and return before current light. The waves were calm. The beach was quiet. She waited behind a jagged rock, watching the shore for any sign of him.
He won't remember. One look from the shell, and it will be over.
Then she heard it, footsteps moving slowly along the shore. She sank slightly, eyes fixed on the figure approaching from the trees. It was him. He walked to the water's edge and looked out, scanning the tide. Lira didn't move, but as soon as their eyes met, he froze. Then he smiled.
You're real. I knew it.
You were not supposed to remember me.
I remember everything.
That's why I came back.
She raised the shell from the water, but her hand didn't move. His face didn't match fear. He looked at her the same way he had underwater, with curiosity, not terror. Her fingers curled around the shell, unmoving. The shell lowered back into the water. Lira didn't cast it. She didn't swim away. For the first time, she stayed. The silence stretched between them.
What is your name?
That's not something I'm supposed to give.
Then just stay for a minute.
This is not how it's meant to happen.
It has already happened.
She stayed until the tide shifted. Neither of them moved closer, but neither pulled away. For now, she left the shell untouched. Lira stood before the court with the forgetting shell still untouched at her side. The queen healer watched her closely. The others waited. Lira kept her voice steady as she gave her report. She said the spell had been cast, that the boy's memory was gone, that the law was restored.
Did he look into your face again?
No, I approached carefully. He didn't see me.
And what about the shell?
I used it. He remembers nothing.
Very well. Return to your duties. No contact with the surface again.
Lira turned without hesitation, holding the shell still full, still glowing. That night, Lira returned to the same stretch of coast. Elias was already waiting. They didn't speak of magic or memory, just stories, questions. His hands moved constantly, sketching her in the sand, then washing it away. She smiled more than she should have. Far beneath the reef, the queen healer sat with another healer at her side. She tapped one finger against the tide chart. Her voice was quiet. Her suspicions were not.
Follow her movements. Mark every visit she makes to the surface. Do not let her see you.
What am I looking for?
You'll know when you see it.
Lira swam home just before the light changed, unaware someone was already watching from the deep. After her latest visit to Elias, Lira couldn't stop thinking about the sea's condition. The Queen Healer's warnings didn't match the fear in her voice. Something was being hidden. That night, Lira swam past the sleeping guards and slipped into the coral library. She moved through the lower rows until she found the forbidden section, sealed with old reef stone. She cracked it open and searched until she found a carved shell marked with royal glyphs. She opened it. Inside, the message was etched deep and clear. The sea's condition was created to hide a royal secret. Below that, one line was carved sharper than the rest. One with a silver tail may break the seal or be destroyed by it.
They never meant to protect us. They meant to control us.
That same night, when Lira returned to the rocks, Elias was already waiting. He smiled when he saw her and reached out a hand.
Come with me.
She followed him along the shoreline to a narrow sea cave hidden beneath the cliffs. Inside, they sat close while he showed her the sketches he'd made of her, page after page. She laughed. He told her stories of the surface, and she told him how the reef glowed during tide birth. Hours passed, but outside clouds thickened. A wave crashed over the cave mouth, pulling him toward the opening. She grabbed him and dragged him underwater just before the current broke the ledge.
You saved me again.
You should not keep needing saving.
Maybe I just wanted to see you again.
Their faces hovered close. Neither pulled back. When their lips touched, the current around them shifted. A distant hum echoed through the reef. Lira stood behind the tide crystal as the court gathered. The Queen Healer didn't look at her. She was reading something, a report sealed in dark shell. The silence in the chamber grew colder. Lira's name was spoken. Then her lie. The spy had followed her to the shore. She never cast the forgetting spell. The truth broke through the court like a crack through stone. The Queen Healer's voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. Her sentence came with perfect calm. 3 days, sunset. She will be offered to the abyss.
You disobeyed the Tide Court. You endangered our realm. You know the cost.
He never meant to remember me. I thought.
Intent does not spare you. The abyss does not bargain.
2 guards shadowed her down the coral hall. Lira slowed near the vault bend, then shoved herself into the current and cut left. They shouted behind her, but she was already gone. She darted through the lower reef channel, past rootstone markers and empty tunnels. She didn't look back. The sentence was final. No one else would protect her now. She had only one chance. Reach Elias before the tide turned. Elias stood on the rocks near the moonline. He saw her before she spoke. She swam close, breath sharp, voice low. She told him what she hadn't before. The memory he kept, the law she broke, the punishment coming for her. His face didn't change. He just listened, steady, like he already knew part of it and was waiting for the rest.
They found out I never erased your memory. They're going to send me to the abyss in 3 days.
Because I remember your face?
Because I let you.
Then take it back. Cast the spell. Make me forget.
No, I won't.
Then I will find another way.
Lira slipped past the reef-bound posts and into the sunken temple gate. The water there was still, old glyphs glowed faint along the coral walls. She passed the trial basin and descended into the sealed vault. A single shell floated inside a chamber of glass. It was a memory breaker, older than any in the Tide Court. This one didn't erase part of a memory. It erased everything. Herself, her name, her power, all of it. She touched the shell. For a long time, she didn't move.
If I forget everything, I live, but I won't be me.
A silver tail is not meant to love beyond the reef.
Then maybe I was never meant to stay.
Lira stood before the throne shell, surrounded by the full court. The Queen Healer's voice echoed above her, clear and final. The court had ruled. The boy remembered her. The abyss had been promised. But one path remained. If Lira erased him now, in front of all, the sea would show mercy. She asked for more time. Her words were dismissed.
Do it now. Let them all see. If you truly mean to protect him, end the bond in front of us.
Please. I just need more time.
You had 7 days. Your time is spent.
He didn't ask to remember. He didn't choose this.
Neither did we. You are bound by law or by the abyss.
Then I choose neither.
The sentence wasn't spoken aloud, but everyone knew what came next. Lira turned before they could reach for her. She fled into the open channel, leaving the throne behind. Voices shouted her name. She didn't answer. She had no plan, only a vow not to follow the fate written for her.
If the sea won't spare me, I will write my own ending.
Lira swims into the forbidden trench where the banished sea witch lives. She demands answers, hoping there's still a way to protect Elias without losing herself. Lira spoke fast. She wanted to know how to stop the abyss without giving up her memories. The witch listened and answered with no kindness. The sea's condition was made to bury something, but there was a loophole, one that demanded a price.
There has to be a way. I can't lose him or myself.
You want both? Then let the boy forget you, by his own will.
He won't do it.
If he doesn't, the abyss will take you both. There is no second chance.
What must we do?
Go to the Reef of Echoes before the 7th moon fades.
The witch explains the full condition. The words were old, but clear. The spell must come from him. No magic, no trick. A choice made freely. If his will breaks, even for a second, the abyss takes both. Lira asked nothing more. She already knew what that meant.
It must be his choice. His hand on the echo stone. His silence that seals it.
And if I stop him?
Then your love will drag him down with you.
Then I won't stop him.
Lira guides Elias through the underwater channel until they reach the sacred Reef of Echoes, a place of old power. They reach the reef just before moonrise. The stones circled in quiet blue light, untouched by current. Lira stopped and turned to face him. She explained everything, the final spell, the echo stone, and the price. It had to be his choice. No spell, no shell, just him. Elias listened, his face still.
This is the only way. If you forget, the abyss won't take us.
You're asking me to forget you. On purpose.
I'm asking you to live.
And you? What do you get?
Silence. But at least you will be safe.
Elias struggles with the decision. He wants her to stay. She refuses. He agrees to forget her, but only if she promises never to return to the surface again, never risk another encounter.
If I do this, you can't come back. Promise me.
I already said goodbye.
Then I guess this is mine.
Don't look back.
I won't. Not even in dreams.
They held each other for a moment. Then she let go and swam away. Elias placed one hand on the echo stone. Elias begins the memory release. The reef glows softly. The memory began to fade. Her name, her voice, her silver tail, all slipping. But then, something inside him held on. He didn't lift his hand. He didn't finish the spell.
She saved me. I can't forget that. No, I won't.
The abyss opens. Elias is pulled backward by its force. He screamed her name as the pull dragged him down. Lira turned mid-current. She swam fast, faster than she ever had, but not fast enough.
Lira,
No! I'm here! Hold on!
The darkness reached him first. In one surge, he vanished. The sea closed. The reef fell quiet. Lira swims alone to the reef of echoes, exactly 1 year after Elias vanished. She doesn't speak. Lira reached the reef as the moon climbed over the current line. The coral hadn't shifted. The stone still stood. No one followed her, not this time. She circled the echo stone slowly, but didn't touch it. Her tail moved less now, her strokes quieter. No one spoke his name, but she had never forgotten it.
You remembered him once. Don't let go of him now. He kept his promise. I kept mine.
As moonlight touches the water, her silver tail flickers faintly. She stays still, not ready to leave. Moonlight cut through the water above. The glow reached her tail. Faint, quiet, still silver. She didn't move. A trail of young mermaids passed the upper ridge. None swam close. They knew who she was, or thought they did. She didn't speak. She stayed until the reef dimmed.
The sea took him, but I carry the memory.
Then she turned and left the reef behind.
Thanks for watching, Diary Gang. That wasn't just a story, that was a memory. Tap subscribe to join the Diary Gang and keep riding with stories that hit different. Cheers!